Hello?
Hello?
He's
Mayor.
back.
The
How
mayor's
are you?
back. The mayor's back. That's right. Mayor de Blasio's on the line on the Hot 97 Morning Show. Good morning to you, sir.
This is the place to be. I'm honored to be back with you.
Ah, that's our guy.
That's
man.
our guy. It's our favorite mayor. Listen, Mayor, hey, it's Peter Rosenberg. I got to ask you something very pressing right now.
Yes, sir.
This is hands down the biggest issue in New York that everyone's talking about with regards to our mayor. Why and how did Jimmy Fallon bring the Tonight Show back to New York and have out Giuliani on the first night and not Bill de Blasio or at least Afro Sun?
Well, Afro Sun, of course. I mean, much bigger star than Giuliani right now, let's face it.
I mean, talk about it.
I mean,
maybe Jimmy's not reading the papers, but I think it was obvious.
I'm just saying, Giuliani was in office a long time ago. We have a mayor in office right now.
I had a great talk with Jimmy a few weeks back, and it's incredibly important that the Tonight Show's back in New York. It's really
Yes,
a
it is.
good thing for New York, and we agreed that I'm going to go on the show whenever it works for them. So I'm really happy about it. I got to tell you, this is like, it's been 40 years since it was here, so I'm
Big
happy
deal.
about the good news story.
I'm thinking Jimmy Fallon's trying to disrespect you, though, de Blasio.
I don't
Let's
feel
just put
that.
that out there.
I will not take that bait.
Do
He's a
not
good
take
man.
that level of
He's a
disrespect.
good man.
Because I understand.
He's not taking your trolling, Ebro. You're not going to. No, how about this, though, Mayor de Blasio? What do you think about Afro Sun and Questlove
the
having.
drummer from the Roots.
Yeah, they have an Afro off, like an Afro battle.
I have to tell you that Questlove, who is an amazing guy,
He sure is.
passed on an Afro pick to Dante.
All right.
Wow.
Okay.
And
Okay.
Dante now uses it every morning. So there's kind of a spiritual bond between them.
I think they should go on Fallon's show and have Afro Idol and let the audience vote on who has the best Afro.
Now we're talking.
Afro Idol would be amazing. So, de Blasio, the big deal right now, charter schools, pre-K. I'm feeling like they're making you look like you're anti-charter school. I don't think that's the case, but explain to us why this is playing out this way.
Well, you are absolutely correct. It's not the case. And for the whole of the last year, I said to people, look, I want to work with the charter schools. They're about 5 or 6% of the students in our public schools right now, so obviously they're an important part of the lineup. But I want to handle the situation differently than Bloomberg did. And I want a situation that's more fair. A lot of times, charter schools ended up in a existing public school building, and the parents in the existing public school didn't have a chance to talk about what that would mean. You know, the students got treated differently in the existing public school than they had been before. A lot of things that just weren't fair. It wasn't a transparent process. It wasn't a democratic process. So I said, look, we're going to work with the charters. We're absolutely going to work with the charters, but we need to do it a different way, and we need to do it in a way that's more fair. So we had 45 schools that Bloomberg had approved for co-location, even though he knew a new administration was coming in. We looked at all 45. We decided 36 made sense educationally, 9 did not. Some of the ones that didn't make sense were charters, some weren't. And we made a very objective judgment. So the bottom line is, of course we're going to work with the charter schools. And there's a lot of very good charter schools, but we're going to treat them with an equality as the same way we treat traditional public schools. We're not going to favor them the way the Bloomberg administration did.
Now let me jump in here, because the audience may not know. The charter schools, a lot of them are funded by big business. Is that true or not?
Oh, yeah. A lot of them are funded by very wealthy Wall Street folks and others. And that doesn't mean the schools don't do good work, but absolutely, there's a very strong private sector element here.
And is that where this whole this whole campaign that de Blasio is anti-charter is being funded by big business?
Who's already upset that you're in office and not their guy, Bloomberg, to start out with?
I think you're providing a keen political analysis here.
I mean, listen, sometimes we can hit a home run up here.
Ebro and I aren't that stupid all the time.
I think Hot 97 is where to turn for insightful political analysis.
I mean, talk about it.
Talk about it, Mayor. The more you show up, the more that's true. Now, yesterday you guys took a big step when it comes to really damaging and ending stop and frisk as it has previously existed. Explain the end of this lawsuit that you guys announced yesterday.
Yeah, last year there was a piece of legislation I supported to end racial profiling. In other words, to say that we would not allow racial profiling in New York City by our police or any other agency for that matter, and that you couldn't use racial profiling as a way of policing. That does not mean for a moment you can't do good, effective, aggressive policing. It just said that anything that amounts to racial profiling is unacceptable. Obviously, the way stop and frisk was used for a lot of the Bloomberg years was a version of racial profiling.
Yep.
So we said that there was this law. I supported the law. The law passed. Bloomberg vetoed it. It still was overridden by the city council, and then Bloomberg brought a lawsuit to stop it. What we did yesterday is we ended that lawsuit. We dropped the city's activity around that. We said, look, the law was right. Ending racial profiling is the right thing to do. And I have to tell you, the good news in this is you have seen already real improvement in the relationship between police and community. I give Commissioner Bratton a lot of credit. He's continuing to drive crime down while helping to reset the relationship between police and community. And this was one of the last things that we had to get out of the way here. We had to make clear that this city government and this police department will never accept racial profiling as a policy.
As a citizen, if I feel like I'm being mistreated, I still have the right to take issue, and this law was going to kind of prevent me from making that move.
I think no. The law was trying to say if there was something that was consistent and structural, if you had a pattern of racial profiling, there was a way to take legal action and get policy changes based on that. But I think what's happening, thank God, is it's already on the ground. Things are changing profoundly. And
I feel it. I'll be honest. I feel it.
Tell me.
I'll be honest. I feel positive vibes for the most part. And also, I don't know if you have a relationship with the new Brooklyn DA, Ken Thompson.
Yep. Good man.
It feels different.
Really? It already does?
It feels different.
Because, I'm white, so it always feels great driving around. I never felt anything. But you really do notice it. You feel the
I hear it from people that live over there in Bed-Stuy and different areas where it was, it was real, and there was a lot of negative energy, and they say it just feels different so far, but they're cautiously optimistic.
Speaking of over in Brooklyn, our guy Shawnee Culture had a keen observation the other day, Mayor. We were watching you get bombarded outside of your house while you were trying to shovel. And, Shawnee, what was your statement you had about Mayor de Blasio?
You need to move out of the hood, man. You need to move out of the hood. You can't just be living amongst everybody. Your time is now to grow.
When are you going to go to the mansion?
We're definitely going. We're definitely going.
Pack up. Get out.
I thought you were going to play the song from the Jeffersons now about moving on up.
Yes.
Great idea. Let's run it.
I really think you missed an opportunity there.
Mayor de Blasio, ladies and gentlemen, don't believe the hype. I know on the cover of the paper today, the big business marketing campaign will have us believe that black children are now being kicked out of charter schools and being mistreated because of de Blasio. I don't know if you've seen the paper yet this morning, but that is how they're positioned.
Let me guess which paper that is. The New York Post.
No.
It's the Daily News?
It's the Daily News as well.
They're all taking shots at this guy. And why they have to try to make it in the paper look this week as if Governor Cuomo's rally was like the Super Bowl and Mayor de Blasio's rally was like
a pizza party at my house.
Exactly. That was a little
but let
unfair.
me tell you, the thing we're fighting for all children. I mean, my son is a public school child. I've been a public school parent for 14 years. We're fighting for all children. We're going to work with kids who go to traditional public schools. We're going to work with kids and families who go to charter schools. But what I'm trying to do is fix the whole system. So, the notion of let's just have a few good schools that work and people can escape to those schools, that's not what I'm about. I'm about fixing the whole system. And that's why we need full-day pre-K for every child in the city. That's what we're fighting for right now. When we do that, 50,000 more kids a year will get full-day pre-K every single year. We're fighting to double the amount of after-school available, particularly for our middle school kids, 6th, 7th, 8th grade.
We need that after school, man.
The after school keeps kids safe. It keeps them off the streets. It gives
and it keeps them off that damn train at 2:30.
Exactly.
I'm going to tell you something.
Yeah, no, it
so
keeps
the
us
point
safe.
is we are trying to fix this entire school system because I'm not going to accept a school system where there are schools all over the place that no one wants to send their kids to because they don't think they work. We have to fix this at the grassroots. We have to fix the root causes here. And that's what our policies are about. And so anyone who tries to obscure this discussion and say, oh, we're taking it out on one kid, no, we're trying to reach out to every child, every family, and fix this school system as a whole. And that begins with pre-K and after school, and then there's a lot more to do after that. But we will absolutely work with the charter schools as part of that.
Real quickly, Mayor de Blasio, in this era where you're sort of ramping down stop and frisk and changing it at least, positive news that 2 months into the year, statistically, violent crime seems to be down across the board in the city. Do you guys see that as a real message showing the effectiveness of what you've been doing so far?
Absolutely. Look, we know that 2 months is only a brief period of time, so we have a long way to go. But the signs are very favorable, and I think the fact that police and community are working more closely together already, that a lot of the pressure and the sort of division that existed is being reduced, it's being fixed, it's being healed. What it's allowing is for what police and community wanted all along, which was a real working partnership, a real relationship, real mutual respect. And then that means the cops can get better information from community members about where criminals are, where guns are. And so I think it's starting to take effect. I also think the NYPD is doing a hell of a good job at continuing to drive down crime. You see shootings are down, murders are down. So this is really the direction we need to go in. And I said all last year, people said, well, if we take away this huge amount of stop and frisk, that suddenly everything's going to be anarchy. That's ridiculous. We have taken down stop and frisk to a much lower level. We have a much better relationship between police and community, and crime is going down simultaneously.
We got to ask him 2 TV questions that are very important. Do you have something political still to ask?
Well, I was just going to say, make sure your school's chancellor, Carmen Farina, who yesterday, according to the Post, was quoted as saying they're charter schools, they're on their own now, and basically they're positioning as these charter school kids are getting booted back to public schools that they didn't want to go to. So they're really doing a job on you guys right now. You gotta reel this back in, Mayor de Blasio. Reel this back in.
We're going to work with every family, every child. Again, I have gotten used to the fact that a lot of the headlines don't reflect what we actually said. And the fact is we're going to work with everyone. I think what she was trying to say is that some of the charter organizations do have space in their existing schools to accommodate some of the kids that they want to put into a different location. So if they've got existing space, they can use that. But what we won't do, and this was the whole reason we made the decisions we made last week, we won't agree to a co-location that hurts special ed kids, and some of these co-locations we're going to reduce the number of seats available to special ed kids. We won't do that. We're not going to put an elementary school in a high school. We don't think that's safe. We don't think that's fair.
Right.
So we're making decisions based on what we think is educationally the right thing to do. By the way, last week, we also approved a number of charters that are going to be co-located. So I'm just not going to buy into the hype that tries to misrepresent what happened. We will work with charter schools, but more importantly, more fundamentally, we have to fix this whole school system. We're not, right now, 1 in 4 kids, this is a very sobering statistic, 1 in 4 kids who graduates from our schools actually is college ready. Only 1 in 4. When you talk about African-American kids, it's only 12%. Latino kids, it's only 11%. School system simply isn't working. And I'm sick of people who want to say, let's come up with this small solution or save these few kids. No, we have to save all the kids. The idea is to fix the school system fundamentally. I say that begins with full-day pre-K for every child. That begins with after school that allows kids to get the tutoring, the homework help, to be safe after school. And then we got to do a lot of things thereafter. But a lot of people out there are trying to obscure the discussion of what we fundamentally need to do by creating a lot of hype here.
And Mayor, we live in a time where everybody wants a quick fix. And, big businesses throw around big money, and it makes people feel good right now because people don't want to put in the work. And what you're suggesting is that we all need to get hands in the middle and put in the work to fix our system.
That is exactly right.
And that's what I think people aren't necessarily mentally prepared for, and I appreciate you for pushing the limits on that and pushing people to put in some work and focus on these children.
Ebro, I appreciate you having such a serious moment with the mayor, but I have to ask him something more important and pressing.
Are you getting between me and Ebro now? Because I thought that was a beautiful moment.
Because he knows I'm a halfer like his kid, so you know what I mean?
No, you guys relate.
I'm like a stepson.
I know. He's got no Jew in him, and I'm just trying my best to fit in. Mayor de Blasio, have you caught up? Are you good on House of Cards? Where are you at? No, I need to know.
Love it. Love it.
Have you watched season 2 yet?
I have not watched season 2. I am anxiously waiting. I have got to be honest with you. I think 4 episodes into season 1. It's amazing.
No, I know you're super busy, but this is kind of something you need to prioritize, man.
I think I should stop working for a few days and just catch up on House.
No,
Facts. Do not take that quote out of this interview and misuse that quote.
Well, you're saying he doesn't have time to nap and watch House of Cards like I do?
See, they're gonna misquote our guy.
Okay,
That's right. Now you got me in trouble.
Now, also speaking of TV, I'm sure you've heard the news everyone's talking about, which is that the television show This Is Hot 97 premieres March 31st.
Congratulations! I heard about it. You guys are going multimedia here.
That's right.
That's
Talk
right.
about it.
Now, if we get a second season, if we're lucky enough to get a next season, you know, this season we have Kanye West, Mike Tyson, Macklemore. We would love to have Mayor de Blasio in season 2.
I will be there.
Listen, and if you don't bring Afro, son, I'm going to feel disrespect.
No, he has to be a part of this. You know, I understand. It's a package deal. I get it.
Mayor
I
de
know
Blasio.
you're using me to get to him. I understand it.
We have to.
I understand it.
Yo, Mayor, thank you so much again for your time.
It's a great pleasure. I look forward to coming back.
We'll talk soon.
Talk to you in a
care.
month, 30 days.
You got it.
30 days.
All right, we'll hit you soon.
Take care.
Take
Later.
care.